5 types of sensitive people. Do you daydream constantly? Does the thought of sitting still make you angry? Can you taste flavors that others just don't pick up on? You might be a highly sensitive person. HSPs have senses that are very acute and react strongly to their environment. Psychologists have classified this phenomenon as overexcitability. This means that, as a highly sensitive person, you might feel overstimulated by sensations, sounds, and smells that don't bother others. Witnessing a beautiful sunset or a random act of kindness may also pleasantly and more acutely overwhelm you when compared to someone who's less sensitive. Hello guys, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new updates from us. Highly sensitive people, or HSPs, experience the world differently. They feel and sense everything in an intense way. But as there are different types of highly sensitive person, it can often be difficult to identify what type of an HSP you are. With over 20% of the population being HSPs, each highly sensitive person is unique and have different experiences in life. They feel and perceive things with different levels of awareness. Research on highly sensitive person show that different sensations like sights, sounds, tastes, smells, and other tactile sensations, as well as the emotional energy of other people, affect them deeply. People with a highly sensitive personality are deeply perceptive and experience senses acutely. They tend to give a strong reaction to their environment, and each sensitive person is beautiful in their own way. Types of highly sensitive person. Not all sensitive people are the same. There are different types of highly sensitive people around the world, and various studies have been conducted to understand their unique intuitive personalities. As different people tend to be sensitive in different ways, identifying the various types of highly sensitive people is challenging to say the least. The absolute range of sensitivities can feel overwhelming to HSPs and the people around them. Although they have a receptive nervous system and share some common traits, no two highly sensitive persons are alike as they express their sensitivities differently. With no further ado, here are the 5 most common types of highly sensitive person that you need to know about. 1. Psychomotor. For these highly sensitive people, standing still is as difficult as climbing a mountain, which they would probably rather do anyway. Psychomotor HSPs experience a surplus of energy and are excited about life's possibilities. They love doing intense physical activities, such as sports, or seeking extreme thrill rides. Dancing and grooving are favorite pastimes. Psychomotor HSPs also compulsively talk it up, usually very fast. Their minds move as fast as their mouths. They are very personal and can get quite demonstrative, and they are not afraid to come in for a hug. Some downsides may include being too competitive and prone to nervous habits, such as biting fingernails. They are also sometimes prone to being workaholics. 2. Sensual. For these HSPs, life is lived in a colorful sensory wonderland. All 5 senses are enhanced and highly accurate, picking up on sights, sounds, and tastes that others just passed by. Music becomes more soulful, pancakes more flavorful, and art can be a downright spiritual experience for these people. As children, sensual HSPs can be very picky eaters and predisposed to overstimulation very quickly. It's important for them to have lots of downtime to unwind from noisy crowds or flashing lights. By contrast, there is a danger of overindulging in food and sex. Sensual HSPs like going on shopping sprees for a rush and want other people to notice their fashion and beauty choices, all for external validation. 3. Intellectual. An intellectual type HSP is characterized by a desire for asking questions and reflecting over their concentrated thoughts. It could be said that this type loves to think about thinking. Insatiably curious about the world, it is not unusual to find a book or 3 in front of their face. These HSPs have a tenacity for problem solving, can recall information in vivid detail, and observe others with a keen sense of a hawk. Every move they make is carefully calculated. The search for truth is of utmost concern to them in a world that doesn't seem to make sense. If there is a weakness associated with this type, it is that they are too preoccupied with logic and can be extremely critical of others. They are also extremely critical of themselves. 4. Imaginational. These are the people who have notebooks filled with scribbles of characters and writings, describing worlds unlike anything we see in real life. The idea of magic excites them, and they well could come up with 6 impossible things before breakfast. The inner machinations of their mind are often dramatic and poetic depictions of what they perceive in real life. This is all to reconcile the sad truth that reality is just not as good as fantasy. Their intense emotions often spill over into vivid dreams. It can be hard for these HSPs to distinguish between what is real and what is fake. These HSPs have an extremely low tolerance for anything boring. Being bored is worse than death. This causes this type to seek out any kind of entertainment that can match their own imagination. 5. Emotional. All highly sensitive people have powerful connections to their emotions, but for these HSPs, their emotions become so intense they manifest in the physical. This type can be best described as empathetic, that is, able to feel and be affected by the emotions of others. The bonds that these HSPs create with other people are stronger and more honest than usual. Animals naturally surround them, which can be a source of great stress relief since dealing with other humans can be draining. Their emotions often come out in physical ways such as through sweaty palms, tense or sensitive stomach, palpitating heartbeats, and face blushing. This group is subject to a host of difficulties to include intense mood swings that reach from ecstasy to suicidal depression. There is a difficulty adjusting to new environments and strong social repulsion. This can show as timidity and shyness. Can you recognize some traits of yourself in the examples given? Maybe you identify with more than one type of highly sensitive person. It is normal for HSPs to have overlap between types, and no 2 HSPs will have the same traits completely. The main characteristic of all HSPs is that it takes less stimuli to create a reaction within a person. If you are constantly overwhelmed, prone to more emotional outbursts, and need to be alone for long stretches of time, then these 5 lists of characteristics will help you figure out where your strengths and weaknesses lie. There you have it, guys, 5 types of sensitive people you absolutely should know about. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment.